What's up, everyone? It's me, Ashton Kamen. Let's talk about the war in Ukraine, about kind of in the middle of bad news and good news. Well, guys, some of you guys, or a lot of you guys may have heard about the battle called Mariupol. May not say it right, and you guys may see it in the title of the video. It was a crazy battle, guys, with a war in Ukraine about the Russians and Ukrainians. The Ukrainians hold out that long. I am shocked. And I'm proud for them holding that long. And yes, in the beginning of the war, the city was getting attacked by the Russians a lot. And yeah, one more thing, guys. I hope you guys are having a good week. And yeah, and I hope you guys are watching my last video too. Alright, now I want to tell you guys about the battle. Battle of Mariupol. In the beginning, excuse me, the Russians were been pounding them with airstrike and force, and the city wasn't surrounded yet. So when people were, I think the people were still trying their best to leave the city in time, and the battle was really bloody and crazy. Eventually, the Russians have taken over more territory in the early on the war, and the Ukrainian soldiers were holding out that long to resistance, and they decided to hunker down in the city, and they realized they were surrounded by Russians with their vehicles, and they were fighting the last man standing, guys. And the battle was still raging on till 3 months. I have heard of one report, and yeah. And it had been 3 months they've been holding out that long till the fallen. And in the battle, guys, Ukrainians were trying to use everything got for trying to escape or trying to do their best, push back the Russians and head toward the front lines, trying to make a little line. And unfortunately, a lot of tactics did not work. If you guys watch my other videos, I was talking about the battles. Go ahead and watch that one too. Maybe it was part 4 or probably part 5 or something. And yeah. And I want to let you guys know, Ukrainian soldiers were trying to escape the city. They were trying to use different tactics. One tactic was, because in the beginning of the war, Ukrainians have been stealing Russian armored vehicles, tanks, and armored cars. Really interesting. And they were using that. They were trying to blend in. First, they were trying to put a Z, trying to blend into the Russian army, trying to think that there. And nope, the Russian army knew they were trying to trick them, and they were pounding them. And some Ukrainian soldiers were trying to blend in like Russian soldiers, trying to break in there. And unfortunately, their tactic did not work out. They get captured or get taken out. And some were trying their best to blend in like civilians, trying to escape from the city. And unfortunately, that plan did not work out. They got captured. And what else? The Ukrainians have been trying to use a tactic. Oh yeah, and some were trying. Right, they were using being like a civilian. Some YouTubers were talking about it. Some were wearing civilian clothes. They went a little far, and they believe they got captured. And yeah, and yes, a lot of Ukrainian soldiers or resistance were holding out. Because their government said they would rescue them, and unfortunately they did not get rescued. Because the front line was being crazy, and they were holding out that long. And most of the Ukrainian soldiers were upset at the government, did not save them. Just want to let you guys know. And what else I have heard? Oh yeah, and there was one container ship, I'm not kidding, unfortunate news did not talk about it. There was a YouTuber who was talking about it. A container ship decided to do a crazy tactic. He was just driving by the captains and the crewmate. They were just doing their normal job, delivering supplies from a different country. And they decided to they're trying to best head toward the city to try to best save any people. And there were some rumors going on the internet saying they were saving a government VIP, and that is not true. They were trying their best to save all the soldiers or the people, and unfortunately the Russians caught them, and they probably did something to their container ships. And yeah, just want to let you guys know, a rescue plan been ruined. And yeah, and what else I have heard? Oh yeah, And I want to let you guys know, there was one foreign fighter was in the battle. It was, he was in the last stand. He was in the battle. And he served in the war against the terrorist group in Iraq and Syria, guys. And I forgot his name, and he used to post a lot of things on Instagram, and he was posting on the battle. And unfortunately, he eventually got caught by the Russians. And they believe his Instagram account has been taken down by the Russians, just so you know. And was really crazy. And yes, the soldiers of the Ukrainians, or the resistance, were losing some ground, and they decided to play really smart, go to the factory. And by the way, guys, back in World War II, in the Battle of Stalingrad, soldiers of the Russian army, the Red Army, they right the siege of Stalingrad happening. All those Russian soldiers decided to hide in tank factories, hold out that long, and that's how they beat the Germans. And because they got supplies by their own comrades. And Ukraine decided to do the same tactic. Unfortunately, the tactic did not work out. When they did last that long, they decided to hunker down in the factory, and with their loved ones, with their family, because the goodness is, the factory did have bunkers or tunnels for keep them safe from shells. And yes, the Russians been bombardment with artillery, rockets, and a lot of barrages with a lot of weapons. And Ukrainian soldiers were holding out and really messed up. A lot of them were dying, and I just let you know, they were saying to their men, "We will die till the last man standing." And a lot of them were hunkered down. And later on, they decided, it was sometime last week, and they decided to go with the Russians. We need to allow our family to leave the factory plant. And they said, okay, we will. And yeah, some Ukrainian soldiers were, my friend Lucas, some Ukrainian soldiers were kind of thinking this is a bad idea. We need to have our loved ones stay with us because we don't want the Russians kill us, and thinking this is a war crime. And they finally allowed the family leave. And yeah. And by the Battle of Mariupol, they probably did have some POWs, the Russian POWs. And just want to let you know. And in the factory, they allowed the people to leave. And it was ceasefire finally. And all the buses, they bring all the refugees from the city to Russia. And yeah. And goodness is, guys, and the people in Russia were really respect to the Ukrainians. Refugees, just want to let you know. And in the battle, right after all those people leave, they were holding out that long till today they decide to surrender. And Ukrainian president and the government said, you guys did a good job. And it was minor victory. It was kind of a victory for them to last that long, or a defeat. Anyway. And I just want to know why they last that long. They did a good job because of the Russian army were spreading out the mainland, and they have failed. They decided to retreat because I have heard some report why they retreated. They were trying to reinforce to the city, try to under siege it, and that's why the Ukrainians have gained some ground in the battlefield, most of the ground, and some ground the Russians gain. And just letting you guys know, it is really crazy and bloodiest and battle we pretty much ever have. And yeah, till Kobani and a few other battles in war in the Middle East and other wars. And yeah, and they decided to surrender today. And now all the Ukrainian soldiers and resistance, they're heading toward nearby hospital in different towns, and they're trying to recover them. And yeah, and some of those soldiers surrendered. Now they're going to POW camps in Russia, and some of those camps are brutal with tortures, just letting you know. And yeah, and it have me think about maybe some of these POW of Ukrainian soldiers might escape. They're one way, maybe they might fake their death in the hospital. Two, maybe there might be some hospital nurses and doctors might be good trying to hide them. Or there might be some good Russian soldiers might help them escape. Who knows? And yeah. and there might be a movie about it, guys, if this war ends soon. And yeah. And by the way, guys, let me know what do you guys think about all these stories I tell you guys. And yeah, to me, I think it's amazing how these guys hold out. And it's minor victory, kind of in the middle, good victory and bad victory. And yeah, defeat or non-defeat. And yeah. And by the way, guys, let me know down in the comment section what do you guys think about it. And please, put a Ukrainian flag down, respect for those Ukrainian soldiers and the people and the resistance. And yeah. Alright guys, me, Ashton, I'm going out, and peace. Bye.